newscast. Our top stories of the day. Vandalism at university suites leave thousands of dollars worth of damages, and staff are unhappy.
Updates from the Nebraska legislature redistricting is finished, and some senators are lukewarm about the results.
In sports, this Saturday, Nebraska's football team will take on one of their toughest opponents, the Ohio State Buckeyes. This is Nebraska Nightly.
Live from the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly's first live show. My name is Chloe Sander.
And I'm Hallie Gutzweiler. We are very excited to bring you Nebraska's community news from right here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
In the UNL community, a residential hall was recently damaged. Macy Byers has our top story.
Residents and staff at university suites are attempting to find the source of damage in the common areas. Facility staff and housing directors are investigating. University Suites has incurred over $5,000 in damages since the beginning of the semester. Assistant Director of University Suites, Deborah McConaughey, sent out an email with details of the instances of vandalism. So far, a total of 8 signs were removed or damaged, and the window in the second floor link was broken. Damage to ceiling tiles and emergency exit signs have caused parts of the fire alarm system to become dysfunctional, jeopardizing student safety. It is unclear who caused the damage. Staff think that the damage was caused by residents or their guests who have keycard access to the building. While damage to common areas and university housing occurs regularly, Director of Housing Charlie Francis states that the damage is more extensive than past years. University policy says the cost of repairs may be distributed across all university suite residents if those responsible for damages do not come forward. Some students don't think that punishment is very consequential.
Personally, I don't think it would be a huge deal because even if you add up all of those costs, we might each be paying like $20, if even.
Staff are placing emphasis on finding the perpetrators so residents can avoid an extra charge on their housing bills. Housing staff members say students should report all damage and any information to their RAs. Students with specific information regarding the damage are encouraged to report vandalism. I'm Macy Byers.
Thanks, Macy. Now, in politics, senators wrapped up redistricting last month, but the bill did not satisfy everyone.
Nebraska state senators gathered for a special session in September to determine new voting district lines based on the 2020 census. The process proved to be tough, but in the end, senators agreed to disagree. Nebraska Nightly's political correspondent, Kirsten Foote, has the top story.
Several states have independent commissions that create voter lines and then are approved by the legislature. Nebraska is different. It has a committee of senators who lead the charge. Senator Lou Ann Linehan says she is proud of the committee and the legislature. Senator Matt Hansen, while some senators like the current process, others are in favor of implementing an independent commission to take care of the lines. Kevin Smith, a political science professor, says that because both sides walked away slightly unhappy, this could be seen as a good outcome. Senator Matt Hansen of Lincoln chose not to vote on the final proposal. He said he thought Lincoln's lines were too divided and too much of a focus was placed on bringing in a rural voter population. These new districting lines will be in place for the next 10 years and set up the districts for next year's primaries. The legislature will resume their normal session in January of 2022.
Yes, these new districts will be in place for the governor's race and many unicameral senators next November.
In other news, as life returns to a new normal, the University of Nebraska has been able to host more events for the community. One tradition that has come back is Football Fridays. Hannah Rupke has the story.
The Center's Husker Football Friday events bring fans from across the state together to celebrate Husker football. The first event was on September 3rd.
Husker football is back, and so are Husker Football Fridays. It's so refreshing to be back together again. You know, it was a tough year last year, but it's fun to come together. You know, we all stick together in all kinds of weather, so it's just good to be back together again. It means a lot.
September 3rd, 2021 kicked off the Wick Alumni Center's first Football Friday event of the 2021 season and the first Football Friday event in over 2 years.
Been going on for about 12 years, basically the same program, but we try to add a few new twists and turns each year too.
The Football Friday event brought alumni from all over the country back to Nebraska and allowed them to reconnect with alumni and friends. Fans were just happy to be able to enjoy food and drinks with fellow Husker alumni after a tough year last year. If you missed your chance to attend the first event, Football Fridays are back for the remainder of Husker football season.
We're just excited to have Football Fridays back in person. Our next event is going to be on Friday, October 8th, right before we play Michigan. So I just want to invite everyone to come out. We've got Valentino's Pizza for sale. We'll have a fun program and a chance to win some door prizes. So all are welcome.
All the attendees here, whether alumni or current students, all know that there is no place like Nebraska. This is Hannah Rebke reporting for Nebraska Nightly. Football Fridays occur every Friday before home football games. Students, alumni, and Husker fans can attend. Today is the final Football Friday event of the year.
Thanks, Hannah. It's so nice to see people together and celebrating the Huskers again.
Let's take a look at this weekend's football weather with student meteorologist Jessica Blum.
Good afternoon, Lincoln. I have your game day forecast here for Sneak Peek. Ohio State is in town, so if you're looking at going to the game, maybe you need to go to the ticket office before the game starts. The ticket office will open at 8 a.m., so temperatures will be in the low 40s, around 42 degrees at that point, but temperatures will warm up by kickoff at 11 a.m. to 52 degrees, and winds will just be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a decent day for kicking, and then if you get towards the end of the game, temperatures will warm up to close to 70 and be pleasant for any potential win and some celebration afterwards. But back to you at the desk.
Looks like a great day for Husker football. Looking ahead, we will have a shift from the cold, cloudy weather we saw this week.
That's right. After this break, we'll have our 7-day forecast.
Girls Code Lincoln is a really important part of my life, and I feel like I've created such a good relationship with the people in the group. It's really just such a strong community of girls who inspire each other to do better. It's just a place where I can come, be myself, and learn more about not only technology, but also making new relationships with people here.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. This weekend, we are finally going to warm back up with some sunny skies.
This will probably be one of the last weekends of the year we can enjoy being outside. Here's Michael Amonqua with your 7-day forecast.
It is indeed a very breezy Friday afternoon. We have temperatures currently around 60 degrees and sunny skies. Winds are also out of the southwest at around 15 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts reaching as high as 30 miles an hour. We're going to take a look at our surface features right now. We do have high pressure that is pretty much across the central part of the nation. We do have this area of low pressure that's currently affecting Florida, giving them some showers and thunderstorms and some heavy rain. We do have a storm system that is affecting the Pacific Northwest, giving them some showers and some mountain snow. We will not directly affect us in terms of precipitation next week, but it could send a couple of reinforcements of colder air as we head into next week. So speaking about next week, we start actually with tonight. Temperatures will actually go down into the lower 40s, calm winds, clear skies, not looking too bad. Talking about your game day, temperatures will be in around 70 degrees, upper 60s to lower 70s with clear skies and winds out of the southeast at 3 to 7 miles per hour, looking to be a fantastic game day. And then as we look into Saturday night, temperatures will actually go down into the mid 40s. Again, calm winds and mostly clear skies. Going into your Sunday, remember to set your clocks back 1 hour. Daylight saving does come to an end, so we gained an extra hour of sleep, but that means your evenings are going to be sunsets will be much earlier, an hour earlier from before. temperature around 68 degrees, and southwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we start out with your Sunday into your Monday. We will actually have a slight cool down with a slight boundary moving through, knocking our highs down into the lower 60s. Going into your Monday into Tuesday, we will actually have another reinforcement of another shot of cold air coming in. Temperatures will knock our highs down into the upper 50s, and going into next week, we actually see 50s, upper 50s. We may have a slight rain chance by Sunday. Not Sunday. I should say by Wednesday, we may have a slight chance of rain. Not looking too big at this moment. And heading into the end of next week, models are actually indicating that we could have another cool down with possibility of some rain chances going into the next weekend. I have left rain chances out for now, but look at that possible low down by next Friday. We could be down into the 20s. Something that's not set in stone, but after a few model runs, as you get closer to next week and closer to next weekend, we'll fine-tune those details for you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Michael. Sounds like a perfect opportunity to be outside and enjoy the sun.
I'm thankful for another warm weekend, but I love the winter and just want to see some snow on the ground.
Well, with cooler temperatures approaching, it does mean the start of flu season.
Nebraska Nightly is committed to keeping you updated with COVID-19 news and all news that affects your health and safety.
The fight against COVID-19 in Lancaster County continues. Hannah Rupke has more.
There have been big changes over the last 2 weeks. The Lincoln mask mandate was set to expire on October 28th, but has been extended to November 24th. Lincoln Mayor Larry Ann Gaylord Baird says they are trying to control the spread in the community.
We remain in a situation where medical practitioners still have to delay care of our loved ones. Normal care is still hard to get and still interrupted because of the pandemic.
Health Director Pat Lopez says the current hospital capacity is a major concern in the fight against COVID-19 in Lancaster County. President of CHI Health, Derek Vance, says the shortage of hospital beds is starting to impact multiple departments.
Our hospitals are beyond busy, as you've been hearing for many weeks now. Our emergency department, our surgical services, trauma department, inpatient acute areas are all full. Our hospitals.
These factors contributed to the Lancaster County risk dial moving back into the orange. On Wednesday, health officials moved the dial from yellow to low orange, indicating that COVID-19 is still affecting our community greatly in all areas. Back to you, Chloe and Hallie.
Thanks, Hannah, for the update. Hospital Hero Appreciation Week begins on November 15th.
Thank you cards for healthcare workers may be dropped off at any Mill Coffee and Tea House location.
Yes, and now maybe I'll have an excuse for my coffee addiction. Well, our team will continue to keep you updated on the changes in the risk dial and mask mandates.
As we continue to battle COVID-19 in Nebraska, other parts of the country face additional challenges.
One Midwestern value is to always help your neighbor. Some Lincoln College students took it a step further and traveled to Louisiana to lend a hand. Kaylee Gill has more.
Our teams were responsible for putting tarps on roofs of people's homes.
Kaylee Hilliard is a junior at Union College and lives in Lincoln during the school year. She traveled to Grand Isle, Louisiana after the mayor invited their college's International Rescue and Relief Disaster Response Team to help with hurricane efforts.
I was the planning section chief on the command staff. We worked to plan out which homes we would go to help tarp roofs on.
Kaylee also worked alongside her operations section chief, Megan Balschweid. Megan is from Lincoln and is a senior at Union College.
I was in charge of all operational matters, so I had 4 operation teams underneath me. So Kaylee and I would actually plan the next day's events together. So Kaylee would do all the planning, get all the houses and addresses, and then we would sit down together and try and separate them out into different houses that might be near each other or just on their level of difficulty.
The team spent a week in Louisiana and completed tarping 46 houses.
When we left, there was still a ton of damage, and we did a lot. There's still so many that need to be done.
They were not the only team that was working on rebuilding the town.
The military was also there. Alongside them, we had like water and sanitation. Electrical companies were down there because they didn't have running water. There was no power.
Kaylee said if it weren't for school, she would have kept working.
I would stay there as long as they needed me because it kind of hurt to come back when we had so much left to do.
After the team left, the mayor started looking for another team to fill their spot.
They definitely need more help. We put tarps on things, but that's not a permanent fix. That was just a temporary fix to keep people's lives from being further devastated.
Hurricane efforts are continuing down in Louisiana. Megan estimates that Grand Isle will not be fully rebuilt for another 10 years. For Nebraska News Service, I'm Kaylee Gill.
It's so amazing seeing other college students out there getting involved in nationwide efforts.
I agree. What a great project. Now, after this break, Molly Robinson will fill us in on the big weekend in Husker athletics.
There is a place for working individuals who want to work full-time and support their families to also pursue their dream, their educational dreams. So our graduates tell us that the program really broadened their perspective and they learned organizational context. They also learned to be good followers, team members, leaders, and effective members of the organization.
Welcome back. This week is busy for Nebraska fans. Molly Robinson has all the action on football and Husker athletics.
I'm Molly Robinson with your Husker Sports Report. Tomorrow, the Cornhuskers will face the 6th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes right here in Lincoln. The last time OSU made the trip to Lincoln was in September 2019, when ESPN's College Game Day was in town. Here's how Husker fans feel towards this tough team making their return. This weekend, the Ohio State Buckeyes return to Lincoln, and fans have mixed emotions.
I think it's going to be a dogfight.
I'm not so confident that we'll win, but I'm hopeful.
These reactions are a result of the mixed season Nebraska football has endured. So far, the Huskers hold a 3-6 record on the season, all while standing last in the Big Ten West rankings at 1-5. It's not like Nebraska hasn't tried, as they've come within a touchdown against 3 top 10 ranked teams, Oklahoma, Michigan State, and Michigan. What started out as the talk of the town has now hit the national spotlight. In his 4-year tenure, Scott Frost is 15-26, with 3 tough games remaining on the Husker schedule: Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Frost says he's close, but fans are starting to lose hope. Take last week, for example, when Husker fans did something very unusual. Fans are known to stay and support and fill these great stands. However, most fans left early on in the 4th quarter against Purdue. And with Ohio State coming to town, most fans aren't exactly pumped. So, what does this mean for Frost and his team?
Oh, I think he's okay. I think he's shown enough potential to kind of earn himself a couple more years.
Fans might be anxious, but are still planning to show up to support their team. Will they stay, and will the Huskers hold their own against this tough Buckeyes team? Reporting for Nebraska Nightly, I'm Molly Robinson. Nebraska football isn't the only team facing Ohio State this weekend. Tomorrow night, the Nebraska volleyball team will also face off against the Buckeyes in Columbus. Ohio State holds an 18-5 record on the season, and it comes into today's matchup off of a loss against Minnesota on Thursday. Nebraska brings in a 17-5 record while ranking 9th in the AVCA coaches poll.
Thanks, Molly. After College Game Day 2 years ago and a tough loss last year, I hope for some redemption.
Yes, we need the win. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Is anybody down to go to a first gen event today? So what do you think?
Looks great. Let's go.
Welcome to First Generation Nebraska.
Homecoming traditions gained a modern twist when the University Programming Council chose a TikTok rapper as a performer. Macy Byers has the story.
Homecoming at UNL is filled with many exciting activities, but none were as highly anticipated as the Homecoming concert. This year, the University Programming Council, UPC, welcomes the rapper Young Gravy to get students together to celebrate homecoming. I'm Macy Byers here at the Lead Center for this year's UPC organized homecoming concert. Students are lining up around the block to see rapper Young Gravy. Young Gravy is based out of Michigan and has become very popular in recent years, especially on apps like TikTok. So students are very excited to see the rapper. So what brings you out to the homecoming concert tonight?
I'm a big Young Gravy fan, listen to all his albums, super excited for it, and so that's why I decided to do it.
I think it's like great to bring everyone together for the school, and this is a great way to do it, especially how like popular Young Gravy's gotten lately. So that's pretty big.
So UPC organized the concert here on campus. Is there anything you'd like to see from them in the future?
If they could get this organized, yes, I'd like to see a lot more what they can do, because this is awesome.
Well, I'm a freshman, and knowing that they brought like Young Gravy, like such an iconic person here, really makes me excited for like just being here for the next 4 years. And I'm really hoping they continue doing these fun activities like this for homecoming. I'll definitely show up here to everything else they have going on.
Inside the Lead Center, 2,000 students anticipated the start of the concert. The opening act, Evan Gia, performed songs from her new EP before the main act took the stage. Students went wild as Young Gravy appeared, and the rapper seemed to be pretty enthused with the Nebraska audience. As Gravy performed, he threw out water bottles and Lunchables for the crowd, and even revealed unreleased songs for UNL's ears first. This year's concert was certainly a unique experience students hope UPC will deliver year after year. This year's concert set the bar high for future performers. UPC will have to match it next year.
Yes, students are already anticipating next year's artist. Hope it's a good one.
Thank you again for watching the first live broadcast of Nebraska Nightly. Make sure to set your clocks back this Sunday so when you join us again in 2 weeks, you'll be on time.
See you soon and have a great Friday.